This video has been brought to you by my book, A Winner Is You. Check it out in the description below. So many games past me as of right now. The void in my heart changed with that game I played. There is no limit to every chance I find bizarre. Oh yeah! And another game I have to play. I am so reluctant, but I am so intrigued by this great wide mystery. Many clues I have to find. Get to the bottom of what's going on in town. Will you play this JoJo game? The time we have just flies away. Is there a way we can play this crazy, noisy, bizarre game? Welcome to Awesome Video Game Memories, where we talk about awesome memories about video games. I'm Ryan, and the game we're going to talk about today is JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Eyes of Heaven for the PS3 and the PS4. Mostly the PS4. So JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Eyes of Heaven is an original JoJo adventure, well, kind of, for the PS3 and the PS4, and is an arena brawler developed by CyberConnect 2, which developed the previous game, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure All-Star Battle, and the Naruto Ninja Storm games. So what's great about JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Eyes of Heaven, it retains the same cel-shaded look that JoJo's Bizarre Adventure All-Star Battle had, and it is a 2-on-2 open arena brawler. Well, the arenas aren't as big as you think they are, but they're big enough to have fun, where you get to have an old-fashioned slugfest with all your favorite JoJo's Bizarre Adventure characters. So as you're fighting, you can collect power-ups, you can collect money, and what is awesome about this game is you get to do dual heat techniques with your partner, so you can basically combine Jonathan and Jotaro doing an awesome dual heat technique to beat Dio to the ground, yeah! And there's so many characters in this game that you'll probably want to play with all of them to see how cool all the dual heat techniques are. And what I feel is the highlight of this game is its very, very unique story mode, which actually kind of follows the JoJo story from parts 1 through 8, but deviates from it. So one thing I do like and dislike about this game is you actually get to unleash a very, very precise amount of attacks against your opponent, but the problem is your opponent can actually do the same amount of precise attacks to you, making it very, very difficult to get out of a barrage of attacks if your opponent actually hits you with a whole bunch of them. So it's pretty awesome when you're pounding on your opponent and they have no chance to recover, but it really sucks when they start pounding on you and you don't have a chance to recover, so you pretty much have to wait for every single attack of your opponents to land before you can recover, which really, really sucks and kind of takes away from the game and kind of hinders the game mechanics. And I don't really remember this being a huge problem in the Naruto Ninja Storm games, so basically when you're hit by your opponent's barrage, you're gonna get launched all the way across the arena without much chance to recover. And in between battles you get to power up your characters based on the experience and gold you get, and I definitely highly recommend powering up your characters as high as they can be so you can unleash more powerful attacks and you can unleash a lot more awesome dual heat attacks. And in my opinion, the biggest selling point of this game is its very, very unique storyline, which does follow the entire JoJo story from parts 1 through 8, but deviates heavily from it, kind of like, what ifs. So the story mode of this game begins with the final battle between Jotaro and Dio at the end of part 3, and so you're there with Jotaro, Joseph, and Jean-Pierre something. So in All-Star Battle they call him Jean-Pierre Eiffel, and in this game they just call him Jean-Pierre. No Polnareff, no nothing. Like, couldn't they call him Paul Renef? Or something like that, just maybe deviate so you're not infringing on, Michael Polnareff's copyright. Well, then again, the JoJo games also have the big copyright problem that the anime series has too. So there you are with Jotaro, Joseph, and Jean-Pierre P. Okay, we'll just call him Jean-Pierre P. And then suddenly, Avdol and Kakyoin come back, And if you know what happens in the story, you know Kakyoin and Avdol die, but through weird circumstances based on this game, yeah, they come back, and you have to get the bone of Dio, or basically the bone of Jonathan, since he kind of stole his body. And pretty cool in the story mode of this game, you get to see the different Joestars kind of interact with each other. Like Jonathan's like, hey, I get to interact with all my descendants. And then you actually get to see Dio from part 3 and 1 actually interact with Diego from part 7, you know, Dinosaur Diego. So basically you have a time-stopping vampire with a dinosaur, and you can also get a time-stopping dinosaur. Well, you know, alternate universe Diego. Although when you do reach the part 8 material, you can only play as Josuke and Joshu from part 8, because at the time when this game came out, you know, JoJo line was only maybe like 3 or 4 years in. And of course, when you're controlling the part 7 characters, Gyro and Johnny, they're on their horses, and if they get knocked off their horses, you have to actually get back on them in order to attack, and kind of like the previous game, All-Star Battle. And yes, there is a part where all 8 JoJo's are together. Wow, so many JoJo's. JoJo. So once you reach the end of the game, you fight Heaven Ascension Dio. And basically, he's Super Saiyan 3 Dio. I mean, Heaven Ascension Dio looks super silly, kind of like how silly, you know, Father Pucci looked at the end of part 6. So once you beat Heaven Ascension Dio, you return the timelines back in order, although the ending does show some stills on what happens to all the characters, with some different scenarios. So, is JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Eyes of Heaven a good game? I definitely say it's a good game, but not as good as All-Star Battle in my opinion, because yes, while the fighting is very fast-paced and frantic, and yes, you get to upgrade your character's lot and the awesome dual attacks, I think the game is definitely hindered by some of the fighting mechanics where if your opponent gets a barrage on you and you have to wait for your opponent's entire barrage to finish before you can recover, you know, that kind of slows it down, so you have to be very, very careful and very precise about how you attack your opponent. And in all honesty, I do think the stand users in this game are very, very overpowered in comparison to the Hamon users. And I do like the Hamon users like Jonathan and Zeppeli and younger Joseph, but if you want to win matches online, I highly recommend sticking with the stand users. So if you want a physical copy of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Eyes of Heaven, it's gonna run you pretty much $70 to $80 because this game was released in limited quantities, and both Japanese and English copies will probably run you for a lot more than you want to pay for them. But the digital copy is, yes, $60 with all the included DLC, but if you're lucky on the PlayStation Network, you could get some sales, and I actually got this game for $14.99, but if you're lucky on, you know, Black Friday or any holidays, you can probably get this game for $9.99, because I honestly don't think this game is worth the $59.99 asking price. Alright guys, so that ends this episode of awesome video game memories about JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Eyes of Heaven, because this game is a crazy, noisy, bizarre town. Playing your game, I close my eyes and take you to a place where your crystal game and magenta feelings take up shelter at the base of my game. Sweet like a sip of cherry cola. I don't need to try and explain, I just hold on tight. And if it happens again, I might play so slide to the start of the grip and the end of the game cannonball that I need to, I want to. Come play a little bit closer, jump now and get a bit higher. You never know what hits you when I play you. Ooh, I play you, I don't know if I beat you, but ooh, I play to find out. Ooh, I play you, I don't know if I beat you, but ooh, I play to find out. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and make sure to check out these other videos, and also make sure to follow me on social media and check out the official Battle Geek Plus website. Take care.